Hello and welcome, everybody. It's a joy to see everybody here, and welcome to Women Together. It's our Women Together Connect session, and today we are joining each other on Zoom and also on YouTube. So for those of you in either place, you can type into the chat or the comments. You can just say hello and where you're from, just to welcome everybody in, as I welcome you all in today too. So it's just such a joy to be together here today, and at least in the Zoom room right now, to see all of the faces and to have our connection on YouTube as well. And just a little note that the reason that we again decided to do it this way is because we know that many people want to join in together on Zoom and be able to connect with each other in a way that allows us to experience a conversation in a small group. And there are many of us who want to kind of be able to not necessarily be in everybody else's living room. So they want to be able to take it in and not necessarily join into that conversation. So if you find that you are not one of those people who wants to really join in to be live on the conversation or interactive in the same way, then feel free to join on the YouTube link. And for those of you who are looking to connect with each other, we will connect in small groups on breakouts after our first part of our conversation. And then we can always continue the conversation on conversations.womentogether.com, where we can have an online interactive discussion space that Ethi just put in the chat here on Zoom, but it's conversations.womentogether.com. So again, a warm welcome to those of you who have been with us before. And for those of you who have not been with us before, a warm welcome to you. It's a joy to all be together again. And maybe together for the first time. I'm just looking through the little hellos here in the gallery. Wonderful. So good. All right. So today we're focusing on embodied creativity. I'm, by the way, Antoinette, your host. So if we haven't met before, it's lovely to meet you. And today we're going to be joined by Maryam from Office Yoga. So we have a lot of fun in store for today, and embodied practice. So really being able to dive into creativity in a new way. But just a little bit about Women Together first. We started Women Together, actually Eileen Fisher started Women Together a few years ago because Eileen had kind of been developing practices over many years of running her business. She has been developing clothing, kind of ethical and comfortable apparel for women for a long time, and for over 30 years. And what she realized that the practices that she had been using to develop her company and kind of create a culture within that company were actually really important for not only for her, but also for all of us within that ecosystem, and actually could be used for all of us beyond it. So what she had done to allow us to feel comfortable and confident in our bodies in the clothes, she wanted to take a little bit deeper and allow us to feel comfortable and confident and free in who we are. So that's a little bit about what we've done with Women Together. We had initially started with in-person events, and we had been running them in Irvington, New York. And then we had these online spaces as in-between times to be able to just connect with each other and try out the tiny practices that we had been doing in the main space, and just be able to keep that practice going in our own lives. And, a few of us would join for that, and it was really wonderful. But as this crisis that has happened in our world started to hit, we realized that this space actually was much more meaningful now. And it was really a time where we can all just connect with each other and do the tiny practices that we need to do, while many of us have been in our own spaces for long periods of time, maybe alone for long periods of time, or really needing these experiences of resilience. And many of us have experienced ups and downs, so there might be some of us, we've heard over our weeks together that that, it's enlivening for many who can, kind of join in to these kinds of online spaces or have creative outlets, which we'll talk more about. And, for many, it's also been a real time of grief and sadness and loss and a kind of letting go that can be quite difficult. So recognizing that both of those things are living there, it's not, I'm either sad or happy, or I'm either this or that we're kind of holding those things within us, that we can hold that together much more clearly and with ease when we are in this community. So that's a little bit of all the things that we're doing here today. And we'll go more deeply into our topics and little tiny practices. But the first tiny practice that we'll do is just being together in a moment of stillness. And for those of you who have been here before, you'll know I use a little chime, which typically lives in an Eileen Fisher conference room, but we've brought them home. And so now they live in our homes because in between meetings, or when we're going from Zoom thing to, the next thing or phone call, it can be really lovely to just land back in the body, back in this little space on the earth that we are inhabiting, and just be present to our own space and our own selves. So the invitation, if you'd like to join me, if you have your own practice, you can feel free to do that. But the invitation is that you can get both feet flat on the ground if that's comfortable for you, or if you're in a seated position or standing, then, just find a comfortable and perhaps dignified stance. So maybe finding a little bit of uplift, and maybe if you have a screen other than the one that is inviting you into moment of stillness, putting that one aside and just being here together for this moment and just landing in the breath, perhaps closing your eyes or lowering your gaze if that's comfortable for you, doing whatever is right for you in this moment. Perhaps tuning into the breath, exhaling everything out, inhaling. And if you are in a space that has other things going on, just taking in that may be happening and then letting that go. And if there's silence, then being with that silence. And just continuing to stay with whatever comes up, whether it's a thought or a sound, just staying with that. And I'll ring the chime to bring us into our moment of stillness, and I'll ring a chime to bring us back into our community conversation. Beautiful. Thank you all for taking that moment of stillness together. And the key to a tiny practice is really it's something that we can just take with us anywhere. So you don't necessarily need a chime. You don't need to change your stance too much. You can just take that moment of stillness to center in at any moment in time, whenever it's right for you. So a little bit about embodied creativity. So the idea that we often have with creativity is that we're going to create something new. And often it becomes this mental thing, it becomes this sort of experience in the mind, like, oh, I'll dream of something. Eileen is actually a visionary, and she, will have visions that come to her of the clothes, or, something that she's experiencing or wanting to share. And that's amazing. There are many of us who do have that. And there's often also a lot of information in the body. And for many of us, if we tap into these different parts of our body and our experience, there's a lot more within within us than just the mind. So we can tap into the heart, and we can tap into the physical experience and find new ways of being and supporting one another. So I'm really curious about your experience with creativity and your experience with embodied creativity. And one thing that we might do is type right into the Zoom chat. So at the bottom of your screen, if you're on a computer, you should see a little chat button, and you can type right into the chat what you've probably already done, where you're coming from, and saying the hello bit. So either in the chat in Zoom or in the comments on YouTube, you can type right in, what's your intention for today? Or what does embodied creativity mean to you? So I'll give us a minute to do that. I will grab a tissue for my allergies, and I'll share a few of the ones that come in. So what your intention is and what you experience as embodied creativity. Okay, I love some of these that are coming in. So Danielle shared, my intention for today is to tune into feeling in my body and allow it to talk to me. Also to listen to other women doing this. Beautiful. And some are not sure, and that is okay too. To bring my body, mind, and soul into the creative process, being with women and connecting in creative spirit this morning. Embodied creativity to me means exploring and surfacing what this animal called my body has to tell me / the world. Staying curious right now to all the signals and inspiration that is coming. Connected with your body through movement. Hoping it opens up blocked emotions and helps me release in the process. And then creativity can be many things to me, from sketching a picture to putting flowers in a vase. I completely agree. So many beautiful ones. Dance, there's a lot of dance and movement in here. And staying calm and balanced. Absolutely. Those are beautiful. Allow myself to relax and let my thoughts and feelings combine to embark on something positive, fresh, and new. Wonderful. So I will invite in Maryam Sharifzadeh from Office Yoga. She's the founder and CEO and has a very interesting background. And I wonder if, Maryam, you'll tell us a little bit about your experiences and what kind of drew you into to be in this position with Office Yoga. But I experienced Maryam running a We the Change session for B Corp, women B Corp leaders, which is really just an amazing thing in general, to be able to come together, and many of us have actually connected in that space. So if you're from that community, welcome as well. There are lots of overlaps, but to have this kind of embodied experience. So Maryam shares a little bit of the science behind that, but also kind of really physical experience of what it can mean to be in the body. And earlier we were talking a little bit about the limitations that we may be experiencing, and how actually those limitations can provide us with some expansive possibilities that we may not have thought of before. And so Maryam had said something about those boundaries being able to open up new pockets of creativity for us. So Maryam, thank you so much for being here with us today and for just sharing your experience with us and a little activity. So I'll turn it over to you for the next little bit.
Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful introduction and facilitating this event. I'm so happy to be with many of you for the first time and some of you guys again. I'm happy to share a little bit of my background, but just to be mindful of the time, I'm personally a very embodied creature. I grew up swimming and open water swimming still. I continue to do that. And I fell into the yoga practice for the physical components, but the depth of it is what has really kept me continuing to offer this and teach and practice. And this is what I do with my clients, and this is what I share with you today. And as being an embodied being, I like to look at this from a scientific standpoint. So when we look at embodied creativity from a scientific standpoint, our creative function is at the right side of the brain. When we look at the two hemispheres, the right side of the brain functions our creative thinking. The left side of the brain is our more logical, practical side. But the right side is our creative, intuitive side that also is more long-term thinking and compassionate. And the right side of the brain controls the left side of the body. It decussates over, and same for the other side. The left side of the brain controls the right side of the body. And I worked with this actually very deeply with a client of mine years ago who had a stroke in her right brainstem, and she was paralyzed down the left side of her body. So we did a lot of work around the neurological, systems of the body and functions. And so I was playing with this more recently, as of the last 6 months. The right brain, with the creative, intuitive, beautiful side that I think is, which in yoga practice, we also call it the feminine. The right brain's the feminine side. I stay a little bit away from that because I feel like we all embody these qualities, but leading with the left side first in my practice has helped me stimulate and function the right brain creativity. So that's what I want to offer for you today, is just thinking about it, imagining it, and on a more functional level, neurological level, leading with the left side first will help stimulate the right brain function, the creative functions. So this is what I'll offer for you today, along with the benefits of the physical practice. But that's the science that I'm coming at it from, so that you have a little bit of that information. In order to neutralize the two sides, whether you're more right brain or left brain, we balance between the two. But we'll do a little bit of alternate nostril breathing. If this may be your first time, I'll definitely break it down and we'll keep it simple. But alternate nostril breathing helps harmonize the right and left hemispheres of the brain. So we'll begin that way, and then we'll go into a little bit more movement. But the way I've been taught was to cross the pinky and the ring finger. So it's like the hang loose sign, but with your 2 fingers crossed. And then the ring finger will plug the left nostril, and your thumb will plug the right nostril. I'll talk you through it, but just so that you could see with your eyes open, it'll look a little bit like this. We'll breathe in through one side and out through the other, in through one side and out through the other. Okay? And if at any point in time it feels uncomfortable, just feel free to let it go and breathe with us, through both nostrils. So go ahead and sit up nice and tall. And without plugging your nose just yet, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Settle into your body. Get comfortable in your own skin. We'll take a deep breath together, leading with the left, to embody our creative, intuitive sides. When you're ready, exhale all the breath out. Get empty, empty, empty. With your thumb, plug the right nostril. Inhale through the left. Switch and exhale through the right. Same side, inhale right. Switch, exhale left. Same side, inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch, exhale left. Again, inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. 2 more rounds. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Last round. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Keeping your eyes closed. Relax your hands to your thighs. Just take a few moments, breathing in and out through both nostrils. Feeling the ease, the flow as you breathe through both sides. Alternate nostril breathing, or Nadi Shodhana, helps harmonize the two sides of the brain, so we can be creative and practical at the same time. With the eyes closed, just gently lower the left ear to the left shoulder. Again, leading with the left side. Inhale, come back to center. And then right ear over to the right shoulder. Back to center. Inhale again, left ear, left shoulder. Nice and easy. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the right. Exhale back to center. One more time each side. This simple movement to the breath helps get the body and mind on the same page. Get your body and mind on the same page so you can live your full story. Finishing with the chin center. We'll softly open the eyes. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up overhead. Reach up. And then exhale, bring the hands to the knees and round the spine. Tuck the chin. Again, inhale, lift the chest. Sweep the arms all the way up overhead. Reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands to knees, round the back, tuck the chin. Just getting some bigger movements through the body here. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to knees, round the back. Do this one more time together. Inhale, sweep the arms. As you exhale, bend the elbows in cactus arms. So if you ever feel like you're getting tight in the shoulders or any tightness through the front of the chest, this is a really simple thing you could do. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Helps engage the muscles of the upper back. And then bring the hands behind you from here. Interlace the fingers. I'll roll to the side so you can see. But clasp the hands, interlace the fingers, and then hop it over to the left hip. With the hands at the left hip, hug the elbows close together behind your back. And then lower the left ear to the left shoulder. Left ear to left shoulder. You're welcome to close the eyes. But right away, you'll feel a stretch go from the jawline all the way down to the collarbone. These are your scalenes. And so if you've been feeling any tension or stress through this period of time, maybe in the jaw or the neck, this is a simple way to create some space and release any of that tension that may be residing in this area. You're welcome to rock the head a little bit forward or back, getting more at the front of the throat or the back of the neck. With the next breath, you can softly release, roll the shoulders out. That could be a pretty big stretch for some of us, at least for me. I'll sweep the arms up again for the second side. Exhale, cactus arms. Feel the strength in the upper back. Reclaim the space and muscles in the upper back. Clasp the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. And right away, sweep the hands over to your right hip. Hug the elbows in close. The right elbow tends to pop out. So hug it in and then lower the right ear to the right shoulder. You're welcome to close your eyes. Feel the stretch down the left side of the neck, from the jawline to the top of the shoulders. And then from here, gently rocking the head forward and back. Expanding that opening, expanding that stretch into the front of the throat and the back of the neck. This is a tiny practice that you can do on a daily basis to create more freedom and ease in the upper body, in the shoulders. And with the next breath, we'll release the arms, open the eyes if they're closed, roll the shoulders out. And then again, we'll sweep the arms up here, going into a twist. As you exhale, twist over to the left, again, leading with the left side first. So I'll give you a few options depending on what level you're at. Option one is to stay upright, looking past your left shoulder. Option two is to bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Right elbow comes outside the left knee, and then you can bring the hands in prayer and turn to the left here. A little bit more of a deep twist. Either variation is fine, whatever works for you here. But twisting to the left to really embody that creative, intuitive side, to lead with that. Another breath here. Inhale to sit. Lift the chest. Don't mind the garbage truck. And then exhale around the side. This is what tiny practice is, right? You show up and you embrace it all. Lift the chest. And then round the back. We'll sweep the arms up again. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, twist to the right. So you can hold your seat, maybe the back of your couch, whatever you're sitting on. You can use that for support to twist. If you want to go into the seated chair twist, left elbow comes outside the right knee. And you can press the left elbow into the right knee and use that leverage point to turn. use that contact point to rotate the upper body. And as you exhale, use the momentum of your exhale to release anywhere that you may be holding tension in the body. Use the momentum of the exhale, the natural letting go, the release, to let go of any tension that you may be feeling in the body. One more breath here. On the inhale, come up to sit. Cat-cow, lift the chest. Round the spine. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, round. And the last thing we'll do together is our figure four. So I'll have you bring the left ankle to the right knee, if you could see okay. Left ankle to right knee. Again, leading with the left side. Pause here for a moment. This could be a pretty big stretch. If this feels like too much at all, you can sit with the left ankle crossed in front of the right ankle. Otherwise, if you can get the left ankle on top of the right knee, gently press with the muscle of the outer hip, press the left knee down towards the floor. So that left side is active. We want the left side active. And then from here, if it's okay, lean forward. You can either bring your elbows down to your shin. If you're close to a desk, you can bring your elbows to the desk. I'll scoot in so that you could see. Bring the hands together and then place the thumbs right between the eyebrows. We'll hold here for about 5-6 breaths. This figure four shape helps release any tension in the outer hip and the lower back. This practice teaches us that any emotion or anything like that, maybe sensitivity or emotion, trauma, we tend to carry in the hips. So any hip opening here can help release some of that. And this pressure point here between the eyebrows has a really sedating effect for the nervous system. In the yoga world, we refer to this spot as the third eye, which I'm sure you've heard before. It's the front of the brain, right behind the forehead. Putting a little pressure here has a massage-like effect, creating a lullaby effect for the body. Very soothing, very sedating. One more breath here on this side. And when you're ready, take your time at your own pace. And change sides. Change sides. Bringing the right ankle to the left knee. Creating that figure four shape on the second side. Settle into the hip. Settle into the shape of the pose. Give your body a moment to feel the shape of the pose. And when you're ready, you can bring the elbows down. If you have a desk close by, you're welcome to use that. And place the thumbs, that space between the eyebrows. And again, use the momentum of exhale to release anywhere in the body you may be holding stress. anywhere in the body that may feel contracted, tight, or tense. The right side of the brain is also our long-term thinking and collaborative side. Collaborative functions are initiated in the right brain. The left brain is our competitive, the right brain is our collaborative. And what this practice reminds us is that when we're able to collaborate with each other, we actually become stronger competitors. So it's important, especially as we work together and do business together, that we remind ourselves that the collaboration piece is key. The collaboration piece is key. When we work together, we become more creative, we learn from each other. When we move together and breathe together, we sync up with one another. This is the collective unconscious, the collective experience. And so with that, I'll ask you to keep the eyes closed. And gently release the pose. Bring both feet to the floor. Sitting up nice and tall, just as we started. Palms facing up on the thighs, indicating that we are open and receptive. Take a few moments here to allow the benefits of all of this work that we've just done to sink in. Allow the body and mind to absorb the benefits, the physical, mental, energetic benefits of this practice. We'll finish with the hands together at the heart, with a gentle bow of the head. I honor your time today. Thank you, thank you, thank you for giving me the space to share this with you. I hope you benefit and enjoy this practice. I hope to see you again. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Maryam. That was really beautiful and just relaxing and relieving, just to be in our bodies for me. So what we'll do now is we will move into breakouts where we'll have a chance to connect with each other from this place and space and state. For those of us on Zoom, we'll move into breakouts and then we will come back and hear some final words and hear from each other. For those of you on YouTube, it's been a joy to be with you today. You can put some comments directly in the chat. We can all be together on conversations.womentogether.com. But for right now, we'll move into breakouts in Zoom and we will continue the conversation there. So what you can do is share your name, where you're coming from, and what came up for you in this practice. How are you working with this kind of left brain, right brain? You know, do you, like, I think about brushing my teeth with my left hand, you know, starting to use the left side of my body to activate the right side of my brain. And I find myself looking like, Maryam, is that right? But so, you know, there's just different things that might be coming up for each of us as we get more in tune with the body. And just looking at what does the body already know? What does it have to offer us into being more creative in ourselves? So we'll move into breakouts of about 5 to 6 people each, and we'll give you about 15 minutes, and then we'll come back for a few minutes of closing. So thank you to those of you who are on YouTube, and for those of you in Zoom, we'll see you back here in about 15 minutes. Enjoy your time together.